Hey guys, I was looking around to see if there were other methods of earning currency for starters or lower powered characters, and found a few creators talking about farming Elva temples. Out of curiosity, I tried it, and it was actually way more effective than I thought it would be. I wanted to find out if using Elva scarabs were worth it in white maps, given that most league mechanic farming strategies nowadays would use 3 scarabs of the same league in order to juice the rewards multiplicatively. I wondered why not do it for this experiment. So, I will be using a scarab of invasion and 2 scarabs of champions when there are no link corrupted locust rooms in the temple. If there are linked corrupted locust rooms, I will replace a scarab of invasion for the incursion scarab of timelines in order to cash in on the expected value of the scarab, which should be the price of a temple with a locus of corruption divided by 3 minus the price of the scarab, because there are 3 tiers of rooms and I'm assuming there are equal chances of each tier. The atlas here will be simple. The minimum would be to take all the Elva nodes, of which is surprisingly little. You would require roughly 37 atlas points to travel to and to take most of the Elva required nodes. I added Nico and shrines again because I wanted to test the efficacy of farming Elva specifically, and I really like the buffs they provide. You can fill out the atlas tree in whichever way you like. As you can see from Wealthy Exile, most of the worth comes from the Elva temples that we generated with this strategy. We have around 9 divines in temples, 2 divines in currency, and the rest in miscellaneous loot. Actually, I think that the locus of corruptions are overvalued by Wealthy Exiles, and should be worth around 1.5 to 1.6 divines, which translates to about 8 divines for the temples. But you know, when you click on the sell tab and you look at and you see 13 divines, it feels really good, doesn't it? The most expensive scarab used is the Scarab of Timelines at 11 divs. The other 2 scarabs cost 0.3 divs and 0.5 divs. But looking at the wealth breakdown in Wealthy Exile, it may not be worth using these scarab slots for the Incursion scarabs of Invasion and Champions, but I doubt you will make a loss considering the current prices of them. Doryanis and Locus of Corruption base rooms are surprisingly common, even in white maps, so the profit of this strategy should be kinda consistent. The largest cost would be the Scarab of Timelines, and is probably the only scarab that has a huge positive expected return for this strategy. Before you guys go off and try the strat, I'd like to go over some tips that you guys may not know about running Elva. Firstly, you may roll your eyes at this one, but the Locus of Corruption comes from a reduced player maximum resistance architect, and the Doryanis Institute comes from a gem room architect. I honest to god did not know this before I started this farm, which was super embarrassing because I told my friends and Elle I didn't get any of those rooms in 9 maps. Next, when opening the doors, unless it is a very important room like a double corrupt or Doryanis room, where you want to connect as soon as possible, you can open the rooms in the following order in order to have maximum connectivity. First, the sides, then the bottom, and then top. This is not by far the best way to connect your rooms, but it's an easy way to do it compared to looking at the temples all the time. Also, if you use an atlas tree that adds cursed treasures to Elva temples, please note that interacting with cursed treasures can have a random chance for the incursion to be closed prematurely. You are not imagining things. What I do is that I kill the architect and then I open the doors before opening the cursed treasures inside the incursion, especially since the bulk of the profits come from the temples. All in all, this is a surprisingly good farm for white maps, and the rate of valuable rooms appearing in the temple seem to be quite high. Sadly, the Elva scarabs outside of the temple duplicating one doesn't seem to be worth that much, but it might mean that a hybrid farming strategy might be possible. Actually, if the experiment interests you, how about checking out our videos on the Legion white map farming and bestiary farming in white maps? It will save you the hassle of trying out the efficacy of those strategies on your own.